council meeting on Monday, August 1st, 2022. We have in attendance with us today the following city officials.
Safety Service Director Barb Sylvester.
Present.
Chief Deputy Officer Stephanie Myers.
Present.
Law Director Justin Richard.
Present.
Chief Counsel Bill Bartos.
Present.
Economic Development Director David Maley.
Present.
Income Tax Budget Director Lori Katagides-Boron.
Present.
Code Enforcement Officer Jimmy Johnson.
Present.
And is there anyone from the administration I might have missed? That's it, Madam President.
Thank you and welcome to everyone that's here tonight. Under number 5 on the agenda is where the public can speak on any topic that does appear on tonight's agenda. And then again, under number 17 is where the public can speak on any topic that does not appear on tonight's agenda. I'd like to ask council and everyone in the audience, please mute or turn off your phones or set them to vibrate. Roll call.
Creamer.
Present.
Gray.
Here.
Howard Smith.
Here.
Hurricane.
Here.
Lewis.
Present.
Lombardi.
Here.
Sleuths.
Here.
Sneed.
Here.
And Ferry.
Present.
Roll call of 9 present. Madam President, Mayor Kathy Kaiser, Ferry just arrived.
Thank you. Councilman Lewis.
Yes. Please join me in the Lord's Prayer. Lord in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Councilman Lewis. Madam Clerk, the minutes of the previous meeting transcribed and open for public viewing.
Yes, they are.
Are there any corrections to be made?
No, there are not.
The minutes stand approved as written. We're at number 5 on the agenda, where anyone from the audience can come forward and speak on any topic that appears on tonight's agenda. If you come up forward, please state your name, address, and topic you wish to discuss. And before you are seated, please sign the paper that should be on the table up there.
Number 5 on the agenda.
This is it.
I'd just like to say that,
Excuse me, name, address, and topic you wish to discuss.
my name's Jason Welsh, and the topic I'd like to discuss is building a house on a vacant lot,
And your address.
1809 Lincoln Way, West Massillon, but I have a double lot. It's parcel number 603035. At least I think that's it. I need to get reading glasses, but starting to get older. But I'm trying to build a house down there, and a few of the neighbors don't think I should build it. They think it's going to be out of place, or it's not going to look right, or it's going to cause them to get too much water because it's on a hill. And with a house being down there, you're going to have storm drains, so it's going to take away water, if anything. But also, if you look at it, I know the codes were put there for a reason, but that reason being so your houses ain't too close together. And both my neighbors on each side of my house one's got a double lot, and then the other's got a triple lot. And then they got single houses, which both houses are at least 40 to 50 feet from their property line. So I don't see no problem with solo lots, smack beside each other. I don't see no problem with me having a new house put in there. And then neighbors across the street, don't think I should be too close to the street, but their houses are only 15 to 20 foot off the property line. So I don't see how it's going to be out of place if I did get the variance of 20 foot away from the street. It's just, I don't know, it don't make sense. It just what I see.
Okay, this isn't a question or answer part, so you said your piece, and I appreciate that, and if you could sign the paper.
Also, I complied with all the stuff the neighbors wanted me to do to get the lot presentable for them. They wanted the lot cleaned up. I've been building a shed and a pool. And I know it's been a nuisance to everybody. I had a bobcat back there. I've been building with nail guns and roofing guns, and you know, it's been waking people up. And it is just a nuisance. It is. I know it's made people mad, but what can you do? I mean, and now I want to do a house, and I think that's the main complaint. They're tired of hearing the noises. But
Thank you, Jason.
and the next.
Is there anyone else from the audience that would like to come forward and speak on any topic that doesn't appear on tonight's agenda?
And Madam President, this is pertaining to resolution number 11. I'm sorry, number 10.
Yes. Please state your name, address, and topic you wish to discuss.
Good evening. My name is Jerry Best. I live at 1805 Woodruff Avenue, Northwest. My property is directly across the street from the lot in question on his variances. He wants to build a platform 50-foot lot, which used to be okay with the city because the city plotted all these 50-foot wide lots. And we have several houses now on the street that are on 50-foot lots. I've been told by Mr. Welsh that if he doesn't get to build this house, he's going to build a garage there, which he can do by combining his two lots together. My personal thing is, I think it's much better for a house than a garage. I have a picture there of the house he wants to build, and I think it'll be a decent fit in the neighborhood, so I really don't see any reason to disapprove the variances.
The reason he didn't pass that around is we don't have a copy of that.
You can make copies
No,
of
we
it.
already have copies.
Oh, you do? That's all I got to say.
Thank you. If you could sign the paper, I'd appreciate it.
Pardon me?
Sign the paper, your name and address.
Again.
Anyone else from the community that would like to address council? Seeing none, we'll move into new miscellaneous business. Period annexation. You speaking on that?
Well, we received a notice to accept or reject annexation by ordinance or resolution from the Stark County Commissioners. It's an ordinance that we passed back in November of 2021. Did everyone receive a copy of this? Okay. Okay, just stating that we need to proceed with a request for legislation to introduce a resolution to either accept or reject the annexation. So I will draw a request for legislation to be presented at the work session Monday.
Thank you. Anyone else have anything under new and miscellaneous business? Seeing none, we'll move into item 7, introduction of ordinances and resolutions. Ordinance number 110, 2022.
An ordinance authorizing the Director of Public Service and Safety of the City of Massillon, Ohio, to enter into an agreement for Stark County Co-op Purchasing Program for the purchase of salt for city streets for the 2022-2023 season and possible extension for the 2023-2024 season and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Barrett?
Thank you, President. As we discussed at the last work session, this is an agreement we have been using for a while now as purchasing our road salt through the Stark County's co-op purchasing program. There was a slight increase as noted by Director Sylvester. Again, if there's any questions, I know the director's here.
Councilwoman Kramer?
Do we know a dollar figure of the impact of the price increase?
Ms. Sylvester, if you could come up. Thank you.
Good evening. Yes, the increase is 66 cents per ton, basically. And so our commitment for this year is 4,200 tons. That's what we committed to for 2022. So it would be an amount, additional amount per ton, 66 cents per ton.
Okay, so we don't have a total amount that it's just been, I know it's something we do annually. I know, I just wanted to know a dollar figure of the impact. $2,700. Thank you.
Anyone else? Councilman Gray?
Thank you, Madam President. Sorry I wasn't here on Monday to discuss this. I mentioned before, I'm opposed to the amount of salt that our city uses on our streets. I hate to see the damage it does to our newly paved streets, to our cars, to our water supply. I'd like to see the city look into other ways to make our streets safe during the winter. I realize in some places on hills and intersections, salt is going to be required, but I think we use salt to a greater degree than necessary and to the detriment of our streets and our environment. So I would love to see the city look into other avenues. I'm not going to oppose this because I know it's probably the best pricing that we can get for the salt we do buy. I just wish we'd buy less and use less.
Anyone else? Councilman Barrett?
Thank you, President. In that case, I move that we waive the rules requiring 3 readings and move ordinance 0110-2022 forward to a vote then.
Second by Councilman Kramer. Roll call for suspension.
Gray?
No.
Howard Smith?
Yes.
Kern King?
Yes.
Lewis?
Yes.
Lombardi?
Yes.
Slutes?
Yes.
Sneed?
Yes.
Barrett?
Yes.
And Kramer.
Yes.
8 yes, 1 no for suspension.
And for passage.
Howard Smith?
Yes.
Kern King?
Yes.
Lewis?
Yes.
Lombardi?
Yes.
Slutes?
Yes.
Sneed?
Yes.
Barrett?
Yes.
Kramer?
Yes.
And Gray.
Reluctantly, yes.
9 yes for passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 110, 2022 has passed. Ordinance number 111, 2022.
An ordinance making certain appropriations from the unappropriated balance of the 1206 Municipal Motor Vehicle Tax Fund for the year ending December 31st, 2022, for the purpose of the 2022 Hills and Dales Road Rehabilitation Project and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Lewis?
Yes, the next 3 proposed ordinances are in relation to the previous bids earlier in the year that came back high. And we had to pull it back, put them back out to bid to get them rebid out so we can move forward with these 3 projects. There is a slight increase on the appropriation that is needed for the initial appropriation that we gave. So that's what these next 3 are, so we can move forward on those projects. Are there any questions or discussions this evening? Seeing none, I make a motion that we suspend the rules requiring 3 readings, bring ordinance number 111-20224 for a vote.
Second by Councilman Lombardi, roll call for suspension.
Herb Kane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Slutes,
Yes.
Snead,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
and Harwood Smith.
Yes.
9 yes for suspension.
And for passage.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Slutes,
Yes.
Snead,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Harwood Smith,
Yes.
and Herb Kane.
Yes.
9 yes for passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 111, 2022 has passed. Ordinance number 112, 2022.
In order to make certain appropriations from the unappropriated balance of 1100 general fund for the year ending December 31st, 2022, for the purpose of the 2022 street resurfacing project and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Lewis.
Are there any questions or discussion this evening? Seeing none, I make a motion to suspend the rules requiring 3 readings, bring ordinance number 112-20224 for a vote.
Second by Councilman Gregg, roll call for suspension.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Slutes,
Yes.
Snead,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Harwood Smith,
Yes.
Herb Kane,
Yes.
and Lewis.
Yes.
9 yes for suspension.
And for passage.
Slutes,
Yes.
Snead,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Harwood Smith,
Yes.
Herb Kane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
and Lombardi.
Yes.
9 yes for passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 112, 2022 has passed. Ordinance number 113, 2022.
In ordinance making certain appropriations from the unappropriated balance of 1100 general fund for the year ending December 31st, 2022, for the purpose of the 2022 State Ambulance Improvement Project Phase 4 and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Lewis.
Are there any questions or discussion regarding this one this evening? Seeing none, I make a motion to suspend the rules requiring 3 readings, bring ordinance number 113-2022 forward for a vote.
Second by Councilman Lombardi, roll call for suspension.
Snead,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Harwood Smith,
Yes.
Herb Kane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
and Sluse.
Yes.
9 yes for suspension.
And for passage.
Barrett,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Harwood Smith,
Yes.
Herb Kane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Slutes,
Yes.
and Snead.
Yes.
9 yes for passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 113, 2022 has passed. Ordinance number 114, 2022.
An ordinance making certain appropriations from the unappropriated balance of the 1100 general fund for the year ending December 31st, 2022, for the purpose of police overtime.
Councilman Lewis.
Yes, this ordinance is for $150,000 appropriations as stated for police overtime. As discussed, because we have been making efforts to fully staff our police department, as we continue to do so, our current officers are having to cover the additional shifts, necessitating this appropriation. Are there any further questions or discussion this evening? My plan would be to move forward. Seeing none, I make a motion to suspend the rules requiring 3 readings, reading ordinance number 114-20224 for a vote.
Second by Councilman Lombardi, roll call for suspension.
Kramer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Harwood Smith,
Yes.
Herb Kane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Slutes,
Yes.
Snead,
Yes.
and Barrett.
Yes.
9 yes for suspension.
And for passage.
Gregg,
Yes.
Harwood Smith,
Yes.
Herb Kane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Slutes,
Yes.
Snead,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
and Kramer.
Yes.
9 yes for passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 114, 2022 has passed. Ordinance number 115, 2022.
An ordinance making certain transfers in the 2022 appropriations from within the 1100 general fund for the year ending December 31st, 2022, and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Lewis.
First reading.
Thank you. Ordinance number 115, 2022 has received first reading. Resolution number 10, 2022.
A resolution reversing the decision of the Massillon Board of Zoning Appeals in the variance case number 2022-8.
Councilwoman Kramer.
Thank you, Madam President. As this states, the request is to reverse the decision that was made on June 23rd, 2022 by the Massillon Board of Zoning Appeals. There were 3 variance requests that were approved by that Massillon Board of Zoning. We heard from the applicant, Mr. Jason Walsh, this evening regarding the vacant parcel 603098 on Woodruff Avenue. He's requesting to build a new 2-story with a loft single-family dwelling. Are there any questions at this time from any council members?
Councilman Lewis.
I understand the concern of maybe some of the appealing citizens in the area. However, this council, I believe, has not heard any vocalized appeal. The only people that have shown up, I believe Mr. Vest has shown up twice now and shown maybe reluctant support, but support nonetheless. Now the applicant has shown up. I haven't heard any outcry. So I don't know why this council would be inclined to reverse the decision.
Councilman Barrett.
Am I reading this right? His variance requested is denied. So if we reverse it, then he's allowed to do it.
Councilman Kramer.
No, the Massillon Board of Zoning approved the 3 variances.
Microphone.
I'm sorry. On June 23rd, the Massillon Board of Zoning Appeals approved the 3 variances for this request on this parcel. We've received letters from individuals that are requesting that we deny that appeal.
Okay, so I just want to make sure we're going the right way.
So if it passes,
It's denied, but if we turn it down, then the variances are okay.
Correct, and move forward with the board's approval for Mr. Welch to build this single-dwelling house. My intent was to get it first reading tonight, but I wanted to make sure if we have any additional questions, they can be answered tonight. If any additional citizens that want to come to the next work session in person to voice their opinions, I welcome them.
Councilman Sneed.
Thank you, Madam President. I've spoken since the beginning to most of the residents here, and they've all appealed their appeals, basically. So I don't see a reason to hold up anything. Respectfully, I'd like to put it on tonight.
You're saying that the residents are okay with this?
Correct.
Anyone else? Councilwoman Howard Smith.
I don't know if Mr. Johnson could address this or Jason Welch, but when we talked about this before, we were told like variance 2 that he was already going to put it back 25 feet, and then when he spoke tonight, it sounded like he was only going to leave it at 21 feet. Because I thought the biggest question was just like variance number 1.
You did say that you could set it back.
Yeah.
Okay. Good evening, council. I do not have the minutes from the zoning board in front of me, but Mr. Welch did state that the zoning board, he could set it back. And just going by my memory at this point in time, we did not give him that variance, okay? So if it would be needed, I would have Mr. Welch come back to the zoning board again. But he did agree that he could set that house back to the normal setback requirement of the road.
Which is 25 feet.
Yes, ma'am. Okay?
And I have one other question, because they weren't sure when I asked it last time. So the 4-foot, the one side that has like the wraparound porch, which is on the second story, correct? So the area that's 4 feet from the property line, is that the balcony or is that the structure of the house itself?
That would be the balcony.
So the structure of the house itself is 8 feet away from the property line,
Yes.
and you just have that little balcony
Right.
that's sitting
And,
higher up?
and as he said,
Okay.
those lots are such that the homes are doubled, and so you're not going to be on top of one another.
Right, but that's still the
I
property.
was wondering also is,
Excuse me, if you're going to talk, you need to come to the mic.
sorry. I was
You have to
wondering
get it for the
about that
record.
also. The balcony out there was, it don't have a roof over it. And my contractor was wondering if, since it don't have the roof, if that was part of the house, or is that the property line, is that the front of the house, or are they gonna, roll that in? He said a lot of times if it ain't got a roof, they won't roll that in. It's more of a deck than it is a porch.
Jimmy?
I would say that will go to plan approval, and if it's out of the variances granted, that Frank will address it at plan approval. Okay?
So to clarify, since this was already approved by the zoning board, a vote no is that we agree with the zoning board and he can go ahead and build, correct?
Yes.
Thank you, I have no more questions.
Anyone else? Councilwoman Freeman?
Just to clarify, I believe I have 4 letters addressed to the clerk of Massillon City Council that are requesting appeal. I believe we've only had 2 or 3 individuals come to this council and retract their appeal, 2 of them. Okay, so there's 2 individuals still out there that have submitted a letter, and that is my reasoning behind giving first reading this evening, to ensure that any other individuals that want to come forward, they can come and voice their opinion. So, first reading.
Thank you. Ordinance number 10, resolution number 10, 2022 has received first reading.
And Madam,
Yes.
Councilwoman Freeman, there were 3 original appeals. One from Sharon Rader, one from William Conti, and one from Mr. Best. Mr. Best is the only one that revoked his appeal. He has done so in 2 meetings. He did it at the work session and he did it at the meeting tonight. Mr. Conti and Ms. Rader, I have not heard anything from since July the 9th.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that.
Thank you. Resolution number 10, 2022 has received first reading. Resolution number 11, 2022.
A resolution approving the 2023 Stark County tax budget for the city of Massillon, Ohio, as listed on the attached Exhibit A, and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Lewis?
Yes, this is our annual tax budget that we send to the county, basically justification for our tax levels that we send to them, also known as a wish list. We send it over every year. It is not the city budget. The city budget will come later and have more detail and more scrutiny. Are there any questions or discussion this evening? I make a motion to suspend the rules requiring 3 readings, bringing resolution number 11-2022 forward for a vote.
Second by Councilman Lombardi. Roll call for suspension.
Howard Smith,
Yes.
Herm King,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Sluse,
Yes.
Sneed,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes,
and Gray.
Yes.
9 yes for suspension.
And for passage.
Herm King,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Sluse,
Yes.
Sneed,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
yes,
Gray,
Yes.
and Harvard Smith.
Yes.
9 yes for passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Resolution number 11, 2022 is passed. Madam Clerk, is there any unfinished business?
No, there is not.
Any petitions, claims, or general communications?
No, there are not.
Any bills, accounts, and claims?
No, there are not.
Any reports from city officials?
Yes, we have the treasurer's report for June 2022 and the auditor's report for July 2022.
Councilman Lewis,
Make a motion to accept the auditor's report.
second by Councilman Gray. Roll call.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Slutes,
Yes.
Snead,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Howard Smith,
Yes.
and Hernkang.
Yes.
9 yes to accept the auditor's report.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The auditor's report has been accepted. Reports of committees. Our next work session will be Monday, August 8th, 2022 at 6:30. Are there any resolutions or requests from council members? Mayor, do you have anything for us tonight?
Good evening, Madam President, members of council. I just have 2 updates for you this evening. We had an ice cream social out of the plaza with the Canton Symphony, and they were very well represented by the symphony and their staff. And also, we had about 125 people there. And typically, when they start something like this, the serenades in the park, they usually start out with 25 people. So we had a really great number to enjoy the symphony. And we also gave away ice cream, which was delicious. I'd like to thank Linda Benson for the great job of organizing that. Next Friday night, August the 12th, we have Sacks of the City. It's an outdoor sit-down dinner. We have Saxy Rob that is going to begin the program, and then the band called The Groove will be there after that. Tickets are $45 each, and you just call our office to get a ticket. Thank you.
Thank you. Nothing on the calendar. Third reading ordinances and resolutions. Ordinance number 99, 2022.
An ordinance amending the zoning map of the city of Massillon, Ohio by rezoning certain property from E3 General Business to District G3 General Business District to I1 Light Industrial District.
Councilman Creamer,
Thank you, Madam President. This is parcel 100-11308, which is located at 3725 Erie Avenue Southwest. The acreage to be requested rezoning is 9.1 acres. The purpose of the rezoning is to allow for a self-storage facility. We have a public hearing scheduled for August 15th at 6 p.m. here at Council. And based on that, I would like to make a motion that we table ordinance 99-2022 until August 15th.
second by, question, second by Councilman Lewis. Roll call.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Slutes,
Yes.
Snead,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Howard Smith,
Yes.
Hernkang,
Yes.
and Lewis.
Yes.
9 yes to table ordinance number 99-2022 until August 15th, 2022.
Madam Clerk, ordinance number 99 has been tabled. Second reading ordinances and resolutions. Ordinance number 104, 2022.
An ordinance amending section 2D occupation list of class titles of ordinance number 127, 1997, 210 Income Tax Department by eliminating class grades 8S, 9S, and 11S and replacing them with class grades 12S, 13S, and 14S.
Councilman Gray.
Thank you, Madam President. As we discussed prior and first reading, we discussed this is legislation that will bring the duties of the people within the income tax department more commensurate with actually bring their salaries more commensurate with their duties and other duties or other salaries of other comparable positions in the city. Is there any discussion or questions? Given none, I'd like to make a motion that we move this forward, suspend the rules, require 3 readings, and bring ordinance number 104, 2022 forward for a vote.
Seconded by Councilman Howard Smith. Roll call for suspension.
Slutes,
Yes.
Snead, Sneed,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Howard Smith,
Yes.
Herm Kane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Abstain?
and Lombardi.
Yes.
8 yes and 1 abstention.
And for passage.
Sneed,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Harvard Smith,
Yes.
Herm Kane,
No.
Lewis,
Abstain?
Lombardi,
Yes.
Slutes,
Yes.
and Sneed.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I started with Sneed. So I have 1 no, 1 abstention, and 7 yes for passage.
Thank you. Ordinance number 104, 2022 has passed. Ordinance number 106, 2022.
In order to make a certain appropriation from the unappropriated balance of 1100 general fund for arbitration services for the year ending December 31st, 2022, and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Lewis.
Yes, we gave this first reading at the last council meeting. I know there were members of council that were looking for additional information. I wanted to find out if all members of council had their inquiries satisfied, and we can move forward this evening. All right. Seeing no comments or questions, I make a motion to suspend the rules of private reading to bring ordinance number 106-2022 forward for a vote.
Second by Councilman Gregg. Roll call for suspension.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Harvard Smith,
Yes.
Herm Kane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Slutes,
Yes.
and Sneed.
Yes.
9 yes for suspension.
And for passage.
Creamer,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Harvard Smith,
Yes.
Herm Kane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Slutes,
Yes.
Sneed,
Yes.
and Barrett.
Yes.
9 yes for passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 106, 2022 is passed. Ordinance number 17 on the agenda, where anyone from the audience can come forward and speak on any topic that did not appear on tonight's agenda. If you wish to do so, please state your name, address, and topic you wish to discuss. Seeing none. Councilman Lewis,
I make a motion to adjourn.
second by Councilman Lombardi. Roll call.
Gray,
Yes.
Harvard Smith,
Yes.
Herm Kane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Slutes,
Yes.
Sneed,
Yes.
Barrett.
What happened when you said
You have to say